Hey. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. We're going to talk a bit today about some phishing. Myself, Dave Dempster, I work for ASG for the past 13 years. I've had Robridge, which is our secondary security company. I do information security. Been doing that going on 8 years, and it's coming up on our 6-year anniversary for Robridge. Been doing a lot of these security type of things for businesses for a long time. Speaking is one of my newer things. I'm not the best speaker in the world because I'm more technical, but I try to make people aware, in layman's terms as much as possible to help everybody understand the right approaches on security, because there's so many different vectors of it, and there's so many different people out there that give these talks, and they're more geared to this just big overall thing. Here, Pete brought to my attention is that phishing has been a big issue. And this actually is a big issue with a lot of companies out there that are going on, and it's coming more and more bigger because lately we're getting phone call after phone call about this particular email that came in, this particular email. Well, did you click on the link? Yes. All right, we'll be down to come get the machine. And it happens more often than not. It's just because the trickery that's involved in this. And I'm going to show you some of the things that we can do to help prevent that for you, and so you can see the telltale signs. Whoops. So, what is phishing? We're not here talking about fishing, going out with the kids to go catch a fish. No, we're talking about this kind of phishing. The lazy hacker going out there creating crafted emails to go out there to verify account, do some billing confirmations, get a Visa, MasterCard, date of birth, Social Security number, those type of things. Now, this isn't going to just happen in your office. This is going to happen in your home as well. But more often than not, they're going to be crafted to go after a business. They're going to see what you got to offer, who's involved in making those decisions. And I know Pete showed me one of the emails that was crafted that Mark was looking for some sort of account number that was sent over.
They were looking for a wire.
A wire transfer.
Yeah, they emailed me asking me to wire him.
That is probably by far the worst one, and we had a local business in Milford that was subjected to that. They were in the process of doing a wire. And the owner of the company says, okay, I'll wire that money over, because he was wiring money to make funds for the business overseas. They intercepted the email, he lost the money. It's still in the process of fighting that, so you gotta be careful of that stuff. Now, phishing is a technique gained by professional to gain personal information for identity of theft, fraudulent emails to appear to come from legitimate businesses. As you may have seen, the one from Sandra Smith that I sent out. It's that easy to go to a site, manipulate something that, okay, you look at the business, what do they do? Okay, they deal with Pratt & Whitney, they deal with this company, they deal with this company. I can craft that and send that mass email out to make it look like it came from Sandra Smith, that you have an encrypted email. Now,
can you tell if someone opened it?
Yes. I can see who has opened it, but if anybody clicked the link, they know that's a telltale sign of that's bad. But fortunately, the reporting program I had running to see who anybody clicked it there, the program started crashing out on me, and the spam filters started aggressively attacking my system. Because I was sending out the Pratt & Whitney logo, had stuff embedded in the background, and it kept saying, no, that's not legit. So I didn't do my job well enough. But it did get to a few people, and I did send it out to my employees in the office. And sad enough it is, a couple of my employees opened up the email too. So these things happen all the time. They're always crafting the new phishing techniques that are coming out there. It's not just by email. It's also by phone as well. Now, phishing activities include, like I said, the email messages, websites, phone calls too, that'll get you, and to trick you to install malicious programs on your computer. I love this Dilbert comic that I found online about this new hobby he's doing. And it's funny because there are so many people that will fall for this, saying that, oh, this is TD Bank, we need your account information, please send that over as soon as possible so we can make sure that your funds continue to go through. And they do it just to make sure you're going to click on that link, that's it, they're in your machine, and they could be game over. Now, there's different types of phishing attacks. One of the biggest ones that are coming up this year is social engineering. Social engineering is used to gain the personal information of identity from people, either by phone calls or just impersonating. I can come into a business, and I have done this before as a penetration tester, is come in as a fire inspector. I have a outfit that is with the company that does fire protection. It's got my name on there. I can walk into a business and pretend, hey, I'm here to check out the fire protection systems. I'm allowed to walk in where I need to go, and I can pretend that I can steal information. These kind of things are easily, people fall for this all the time, or even a phone call too, to trick you into clicking on something. Hey, this is so and so from ASG. We see you're having some trouble with your computers. Can we remote in and get a chance to take a look at that for you? You have an in-house IT guy, so that red flag should be, wait a minute, why is ASG calling me directly? We don't deal with them. We deal with them through Pete. So that should be a red flag. And if you guys remember the movie Catch Me If You Can, yeah. That movie is based upon some of the first social engineering attacks ever, because this happened back in the late 50s, where he was pretending to be an airline pilot for Pan Am. He was pretending to be a doctor, a lawyer, and he was able to pass all these fraudulent checks. And after working with the FBI for many years, he still has a successful security business fixing checks. And that movie is great because that's a lot of the social engineering aspects that you would see that happen out there. All right. So one of the things I found out on your on your website with Jonell Laboratories was this. Looking out on your website, one of the things I found was under support, we have two names that are listed here. We have Fred and we have Eric. When I clicked on the links, it doesn't take me directly to their email addresses, but it does give me a form to fill out. The danger with that is with Fred's email and Eric's here, I know that already here's his last name and there's their last name, so that it allows me to gain some traction to craft a particular email to send off to these guys. I would do is look online to see what Fred is doing online on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, anything like that. Same with Eric. I can see their habits, what they're doing out there. Then I can craft an email to send to him and get his interest and keep it flowing and get him to click on one of those emails at the wrong time. So the solution for this here is, if you can, I would take down the names for the support and just kind of put it generalized. So this way that it replies back, it still goes to Fred, it still goes to Eric, but it's like a generalized form, because the less you give somebody for the outside to figure out who's in the business, the better. I did not see anything for HR, because HR is another big one too. If you go to click on the link, go contact us here at this HR department, because HR is always susceptible to getting those messages too. Hey, we're looking for social security numbers, we need a date of birth. So that's just something I saw to cause a little paranoia there, but if you can, try to take that down.
So just take the names off and just leave technical sales director?
Exactly. Keep it something generic. I mean, a lot of companies will have is the name would be linked to where you click on it and it opens up in your Outlook email. That's even far worse, because now you know exactly who the email is. I mean, I can guess what the email is by trying a couple different things until I get a bite. But having a form field like this, fill it out, they send it, they don't know who the email is going to, and they'll get the information. It'll get to both of you guys.
We have to look at that, put our website up to date, make sure.
Yep.
The new version.
Another big thing with the emails that come through is called link manipulation. You get an email that comes in from a particular vendor that you guys deal with all the time, maybe a bank. But something seems a little fishy with that email. The link says, oh, click here to download our latest version of our software to access the banking site. But you see the link in there, you go to click on it, it takes you to a whole other site. And those links may look like, oh, okay, click here, I'll show you some examples, but you gotta be careful where you're clicking on those links. You have no idea where they're going to. So you gotta be careful. We'll show you how to hover over those links so you can see, is this legitimate? Okay, good, I can open it. Spear phishing, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of this. I mean, these all relate to some sort of the word terminology of phishing. Spear phishing, you're going after a particular person in the organization or a particular group. So if a hacker's out looking for HR information, they're going to focus on the HR department, or they're looking for the sales, or even higher up, they're looking for the executives. They're going to go after that group, and they're going to craft the emails much better. The emails are going to be crafted in such a way where the spelling is better, it's more thought out, It's more. It's going to be able to try to get the executives. Okay, that's what we're going after. We want that information. We're looking for that top secret documentation. We're looking for that that patent number or something. That's what they're going to go after. Whaling is another term of phishing. Whaling is used for going after the big CEOs. They're going after, like, the Bill Gates and everything like that, the companies, but not just the big companies, the small businesses too.
The DNC.
Yep, they're going after them. They're going after those people to get that information. They're sniffing the lines for traffic flowing through that's not encrypted from an executive sending out a message. So anytime you ever send any messages out that have any sort of information that needs to be cryptic, you guys should send it out electronically secure. There are methods to do that. I'm not sure if anyone you do here now, or if you deal with some of the vendors, you send it back and forth electronically. Because if I'm sitting on the outside of the world of the business and I want to see Jonelle's emails and there's personal information being sent out, it's coming over in clear text.
Why can't we send it all out encrypted?
You can, but the pain about that is if everything you send out, hey, how you doing, the person gets a message that comes back, they have to log on to a portal just to see that.
Just delete it? No, just to see it.
Just to see it, yeah. Now, the way you guys are set up now, you have web solutions. The email communication back and forth is encrypted, but anything you send out with personal information, it still can be broken. So that's why I say you should use some sort of form of encryption. You're going to give less of an attack vector for these guys that are really looking after what you got. Or, they may not be going after you directly, but it's just the stuff that floats around on the web. They're just looking for whatever they can grab and use it against you.
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
How does that relate to HR stuff for dental insurance, for health insurance, for 401k?
Our stuff are not
Oh.
to the website. I don't hire nobody. I don't use the website.
Well, so for all the communications that are through a computer for those things like 401k and insurances and whatnot, how is that protected?
What is,
When you,
Personal information.
so let me ask you this,
Yeah.
when it's in an attachment, if there's an attachment sent out to an insurance broker, and sometimes there is personal information on those attachments, there should be it should be go through something encrypted outside of what we're currently using.
yes, exactly. Somebody comes to you with the form filled out on PDF or a written document, you scan it in, and you send it off to the insurance company. That should be sent out encrypted.
Okay.
What they call PII, personal identifiable information, is by far the most, it's like gold. If I get somebody's social security number, date of birth, and an address, I can easily open up a new credit card account, I can open up a loan, and you may not know for a few weeks.
Oh, wow.
So sending anything out like that, you send it out encrypted.
How liable are you for something?
What do you mean?
How liable are you if somebody does that?
Yeah,
Well, it also depends if you can track back where they found the information from originally.
it depends on what they actually did to you, and it depends on the industry. It's a little different with smaller businesses, because if they come after 1-2 people, you're really the only person liable is the person probably sent the message.
Right.
But we work for a few healthcare companies. They're in violation right now, and they're probably going to be shut down if they don't make any changes soon. They've gotten fined 3 times now for $58,000 because they sent out one bit of information non-encrypted, and it was picked up by an attacker. And it was
Some
like,
things, yeah, especially if there's attachments with
Yeah.
information when we're doing some of our insurance stuff.
Yes.
That we'll need to look to do something encrypted
Yep.
in reference to that. I know
Yep.
because they want it into a spreadsheet format, so they can turn around, the insurance company can turn around and process it.
yes.
So faxing wouldn't help, because again, that is a security
They're
community.
encrypted too.
Yeah.
There were like faxes though, like there was, not that long ago, there was faxes that came in from people who were on like workman's comp and stuff like that. It had their social security numbers on it, and it was just open. So when you open up the faxes to collect it, there
Yep.
it was. And it's, so how do you,
Well, that doesn't no longer happen because I have my own fax. So nobody have access to anybody's information in the company.
Yeah.
For the fax part. The
Yeah.
fax now, there's an actual separate HR fax. So before it
Good.
was going in the general mailbox. So she communicates now with people whoever, if they're gonna fax in information, it gets faxed to hers. But there is definitely an issue with the other documents being sent, that we'll need to have it outside what
Yep.
we're already having encrypted, is go ahead and encrypt it and come up with something.
Yep.
That's definitely an issue.
Because when you don't send out the encrypted, that's what leads to this, is clone phishing. So the message is sent out, and they're going to intercept that message that was supposed to go to a legitimate source. They're going to take that, manipulate it, then resend it back and become the man in the middle. So their email is going to bounce from the main source to them back, and they're going to see all this coming through, and they're going to have an easy attack vector. I have seen a lot of this coming up more and more lately too. This was always something that happened in the past because they found ways around it. The antivirus was able to detect the clones, the spam filters would detect the clones, and the other forms of protection you have in the business. But they've been getting more and more crafty with this, and it's getting bad. Voice phishing, or vishing. I'm not sure if anybody has been subject to that here in the business or even at home. They may they'll call you up, pretend that they are talking, you're something about your CLMP bill or your lawn care service or anything. They're going to craft and say, oh yeah, you're behind on your payment, we need you to pay this right away. And they're going to try to trick you. Or someone's going to call up and pretend that they are from one of the support companies. We need to get into your machine, can we have your password? And they may find out from a form of sniffing these emails that, oh yeah, Peter said it was okay. They may not have a last name, but they may say, oh, Peter said it was okay. You may fall victim to that. No one's ever going to ask for a password over the phone. No way. They should not be. The only person that should be is Pete or myself if we're here in person. That's the only time you should ever give any sort of information over the phone to somebody, especially if you don't know, unless you called.
I don't know if anybody else, but it hasn't happened in a long time, but in the past, you know how there's a lot of free magazines that you get, you know, manufacturing and
Okay.
chemistry. They would call them and say, oh, your magazine subscription is expiring, and we're going to renew it. And to verify, could we get the last 4 digits of your social security number? They used to ask that a lot. I don't know if people that have. But then what happens is then there was others who would call back, oh, could we get the first 3 digits of your social security number?
Yes.
And another call would come, could we get the 2 middle digits? And it occurred to me, you know, ultimately,
They'd have a-
that was
Yep.
the case of this, right? Got
Yep.
that.
Same type of thing. It's just another form of phishing. It's just over the phone. And they've tricked a lot of people a lot of times to call up and say, oh yeah, we see your machine fell off of the network, and we're from Microsoft. We need to re-register your account. We need you to verify some information with us. We had an insurance company that fell for that. They got hit for like $500 on their credit card. So luckily enough, we got it stopped quick enough, and they were able to get the funds reversed. But I was like, that's just ballsy. So for someone to do that.
10 times a day, that's a good looking man.
Oh God, yeah.
Catch any of these people?
No, not unfortunately. I have in years
They're
past.
not even in the country, are they?
No. They are either they're calling from like a call center based out of India, or they're over in China or Russia, or sometimes in the U.S. But it's very far and few between that we have anything called from the U.S.
And real quick, credit card companies don't even go after them. Like, we had fraudulent charge, something was shipped, I bought something from a label company,
Yeah.
and then I got charged. This was like a year later, and I'm like, why did I get charged? I didn't buy anything. And somebody from Virginia basically bought from that site, somehow got my card information and shipped it to themselves. I'm like, you have the address of who shipped it. They're like, it's not worth it. It was, $75 or something. They gave me my money back because I didn't make the charge, but they don't even go after them. So again,
Yeah.
if they do that 100 times,
Yeah, they just test the waters.
They just go collect on their insurance.
Yep.
exactly.
All right?
Now here's the problem, is insecurity in all these years of doing information security, the biggest security weakness is people. People are susceptible to about anything. All my years of doing penetration testing, you know how many times I've been able to get passwords from just, hey, I'll buy you a cup, you get you a cup of coffee, I need your password to get on your machine, or a piece of chocolate, or sometimes even lift up the keyboard. People are the weakest link in security. You can have the best security system in the world for protecting your emails here. You can spend thousands of dollars on all this software and antivirus. It doesn't mean crap, because all it takes is just one click from somebody looking at an email that looks suspicious, and that's it, it's game over. A lot of times these emails that come in, you click on the link, nothing happens, okay, you move on. Well, you think so, But I have seen some very disturbing videos in the past few weeks from what they call DEF CON out in Las Vegas. How they are able now to bypass antivirus, get into the file server, and start stealing data without anybody even knowing, even the engineers who manage the systems. So I tried it here on my laptop when I saw this, and I was just totally sickened of what they can do. Thank God it's not fully mainstream yet, and they are working to counterattack that. But it all starts with someone clicking on a link in an email that they shouldn't have, or an attachment. A lot of these attachments will come through. They'll try to trick you. Oh, here's that form you're looking for HR, or you're looking for the financial stuff. You click on that PDF, you open it up. It's not opening up. Click it again, it doesn't open up. Well, it's too late. The program already ran in the background. Now it's watching your computer. Now it's watching your keystrokes. It's sending it off. So, if you don't know where that email came from, just simply delete it. You know what? Pick up the phone and call. Hey, Jane Doe, did you send this over to me? I want to make sure that this is a valid email. If they say no, get rid of it. Because maybe they were infected and they're sending stuff out. Or you guys could be sending stuff out and you don't know it. Now here's one of the phishing emails that I had sent out. I'm not sure if anybody got this one. I sent out a new one about a new web content filter viewer and about some new studies that show about lost productivity, and I wanted you to click on this log on with your credentials. And once you click on that link, it brought you to look like a Jonelle website with a web content filter. You type in a password and username, it shows you some fake statistics. It looks all legit. Okay, close it out. But you guys know anybody here by that name? You don't have a Mike Burke, IT manager. I was able to grab this logo and put that into the email to make it look legit. I had a fake email account too set up to send that through to get bypass this stuff.
Wow.
And that's what these hackers do. There's another one. This is with the link manipulation here. They want you to update your email account, or it'll soon be suspended. So you start looking through the message, you're like, oh, wait, my email's going to be suspended. So what we do, take the mouse pointer, you hover over there, and you see it's going to this strange website. It's not coming from Web Solutions. So that's the first telltale sign. You don't have to click on it. You're just going to hover your mouse over that link, and you're going to see this here, and you're like, okay, get rid of it. Or ask Pete. And Pete can always ask me if there's anything that's going on with that. Or you can call Web Solutions, because that's a fake link. That's a fake thing. A lot of these links too, when you go to click on it, they may not have anything else, more information. It'll start running its processes. It'll start going through, kill the antivirus, and start doing its things in the background. This is a big one that's been out for a while. If anyone has LinkedIn, through your business email, you may get some of these every so often from LinkedIn. LinkedIn is never going to confirm your email address at all. They're not going to say, oh, we need to confirm it. We need to confirm it. No. They're going to send you maybe your password needs to be reset and please log on to the web portal with your current account. But they never are going to send this. Or sending a link over there. We've had many people fall for this in the past. They click on it. It looks like the LinkedIn website. It's a little misspelled. If you look at some of the characters on there, and you're like, okay, this isn't right. And the misspelling is because of the poor English translations.
Dave, look,
Yeah.
There's all this stuff that's happening, and we click on it, and we don't know anything. So how do you know that we don't have all sorts of viruses and malware in our system now?
With the antivirus, it's doing its job. It's scanning all the time. It's always picking up on it, especially the Kaspersky. A lot of the examples I use with shutting down the antivirus, they're the cheaper antivirus programs out there, the Symantec, the McAfee's.
All right, so what I'm asking is,
Yeah.
You're confident that our entire system is clean right now?
Yes.
So if we're going forward, we leave this meeting today, and if we're all diligent, we should be clean. We
Yes.
should be.
As long as people are clicking on these links that they're not supposed to go to. I mean, yes, you click on the link, you may have that effect where it's going to try to do something, but Kaspersky's going to stop it. And how do I know?
Get a report.
Yeah, and I've tried it. I tried it from the server, some of the links that I had when I broadcast out these emails to see what Kaspersky would do. It shut it right off. Stopped it. I mean, it doesn't mean that someone cannot do it. Everything is breakable if they wanted to. But It's a matter of how much time they want to spend to get what you have inside of your facility.
But that still doesn't stop human error of people sharing their information when they're not supposed to.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. This has been a big one. Finance may have seen this one in the past. It's being sent out from the NSA saying about there's a critical vulnerability with your token device. Some of the banking industries use these token devices for logging on, and a lot of them will craft it with this and TD Bank North. They will never ever send anything like this. Your bank will never send you an email either saying that your token is expired. You're going to get a letter and a new token in the mail if something happens. They are never going to send you anything about that, because if they can get that token serial number, that's it. You're done. Every time that token serial number generates a new number and I have the logout information, I'm going to get your stuff. And here's another example of the telltale signs of where it's coming from. Always check when you get a new email is who it's from. A lot of times you can spoof the name to say that, okay, this came from Dave Dempster. But if the email at the end says something different, that should be like, why is it coming from France? Why is that coming from China as far as email content goes?
That one for the wire, I couldn't see it from there, but if I hit reply, now I didn't click anything, but if I hit reply, that's when I
Then you can see it?
that it was a fake email going back
Yes, yes.
So I didn't, like I said, didn't click anything, just hit the reply button, and then it popped up, and I got, this isn't, never mind, I know we don't do business that way, but I was like, what?
Yes, exactly. If you hit the reply, I can see
I
it.
was going to hit reply and go, yeah, okay, I'll take a look at that in a minute. Like, I wasn't going to do it, but I was like, going to start replying, and then I noticed, and I'm like,
Yes, that is the worst thing to do. Any of these phishing emails, do never reply back to them, because that just gives them the answer that, okay, this person's alive, the email box is alive, we're going to keep going after it. Just delete it. Don't reply to it, don't do anything, just delete it. You know what, because at this day and age, if something is that important, pick up the phone. Get back to the ways of communication that way. Now some tips about this. No outside person will ever ask for your password over email, nor the in-house support. I mean, Peter as well. You should not be asking for your password by email at all, because if something were in here and you're sending out a password, it could be manipulated. And be aware of any emails asking for passwords. They never send passwords, bank account numbers, or other private information in an email. If they have to, a lot of the banks are going to send it encrypted, or yourselves should send that stuff out encrypted as well. And we can help with finding the right solution. And be cautious about opening attachments or downloading files from emails, regardless who sent them. Because these files can contain viruses or other malwares or weaken your computer security. With the Kaspersky you guys have in place, the Kaspersky is super aggressive about attachments. It's probably a way over the top secure, because it sees every little detail of the attachments in there and it stops it like 90% of the time. And it does a great job. We've been using Kaspersky for a long time for our clients and credit unions, and they never have gotten an attack. Just yesterday I worked with a credit union representative. She got an email from a legitimate person. It was statements for, what do they call that? Their wire transfers they do every night. And she always expects the same email, but unfortunately the person who sent the message had an infection. Kaspersky stopped it. So,
Dave,
yes.
When we get emails, like in our case, I can go, when I'm traveling with my phone, go
Yes.
to Web Solution, and I click it on the phone. Is that a problem too?
No, not at all. It's less susceptible on a phone than it is a PC, because the phone technology is not there to have the viruses run rampant through. They're more crafted for the Windows PCs. Mac OS X is not susceptible to that either. They're mainly the Windows PCs, because the code is so sloppy. So you never should worry about it on a phone. So yes, if you get a message and you think it's legit, check it on your phone. If you all have smartphones, check it on your phone first. It's not going to do any damage, because you delete it from there, it'll be gone from your inbox. But anytime you have a suspicious attachment on an email, just call them and ask them. It only takes a few minutes just to check to make sure that they sent out the message and they're not infected themselves. It could very well be some of your machines in here could be infected, and all of a sudden it's sending stuff out. Never open up any pop-up windows from an email. They have been crafting messages where there's a link in there. It'll pop up a message. They want you to validate some messages, information here. This one was from a phishing attempt that I was sending out based upon Pratt and Whitney, where you clicked on that link, this would actually pop up. I could put in whatever username and password in there and click log on, and it looked like I was getting a cryptic email coming over. It was absolutely fake. Now, if there's a link in your email, like I said, hover over that link and you can see where it's claiming to be. You can see where it's actually going to. Most of the time it's going somewhere that's not supposed to. Especially look for spelling and bad grammar. Cyber criminals are not known for their grammar and spelling, and I am the far worst speller with that. All my presentations, my email, I always have it checked out, so that makes me one of the bad guys too, I guess. But yeah, you'll see a lot of misspellings, or sometimes it'll just too many extra characters in there. And you also see a lot of if you see a lot of emails that come out to everybody, you're going to see the list of mass emails. That's usually a telltale sign that somebody's doing a phishing attempt. You're going to see everybody's email in there, or other people you don't know asking the same information. Get rid of it. So you think you've received a phishing email? Do not click on the links within the email. Just download it. Just delete it. Forward the email to your in-house tech and have him examine it and determine it. It's not going to hurt. If you take a message that you think is not right, if you forward it, Pete, it's not going to be any more damaging than what you got, and we could take a look at it. And if there is an attachment, you recognize the sender but not expecting it, just call them. That's all it takes, just a quick phone call. Did you send me that attachment? I want to be sure that's okay. I'm not expecting anything from you. You receive a phishing call. If you have caller ID here, look it up in Google. Oftentimes or not, you're going to find there's a few sites here, 1-800-NOTES.com, callcenter.com, and callercomplaints.com. You'll see a list that this number he keeps calling and calling, and then you can actually register that number on that site, and they'll do what they can with your phone provider to make sure they stop. We've used this a lot with ASG because we were getting calls all the time from New Jersey claiming that we owed them some money, and they've stopped. And always resist the pressure to make a decision immediately by phone if someone is trying to pressure you into or force you into giving any sort of viable information. Just hang it up. And always keep your credit card and account numbers and social security numbers to yourself. Do not ever give those things over the phone. Even if they ask you to confirm this, it's usually a trick. Unless it's the person you called, you know you're dealing with, that's perfectly fine. But if it's someone calling into you, I need to verify this, just be wary. Because the amount of time it takes to get your life back after your social security number is taken.
You answer that.
Yes.
If you're to call in and purchase something, say from Amazon or something, that's okay to do that.
Yeah, with that, well, it depends. When you're doing something from Amazon, a credit card number, that's fine. You're talking to them. You know who you called.
That's a no-no.
That's a no-no. Yep. A lot of people will go for that too because they'll be able to see, okay, you're making purchases on Amazon. They're going to try to call back. Oh, that credit card number you put through, sir, did not work. Do you mind repeating that back to me? A lot of home user computers may get affected by this because the links that you click on in the web are monitoring where you're going. It's like, oh, he went to Amazon. And they find your location, don't know how, but they can get your location and find out a phone number and try to call you. It happens too often than not. So always make sure your machines are updated and the antivirus is always up to date. And always get all information in writing before you agree to buy anything when you talk to somebody by the phone. Don't ever give them information. Have them send over a form or documentation or by email. And beware of the offers to help recover money from you've already been lost. This happens a lot where they say, oh, your machine's infected, we can help you, it'll cost you this much money. Or there may be something may pop up on the screen. We've had websites where the whole page is hijacked. Call this number to get your machine unlocked. People fall for it. Those are fake. Close it out.
Ransom some too.
Yes. Yep. It's really bad how bad people are with this stuff. You know, they try to get money and extort you no matter what. Your number's out there. It's on the web. You know, people are going to find it. It's just a matter how they craft it. And you want to report any caller that's rude or abusive, or even you can always call the FTC and could do a complaint, register a complaint with their services. Any questions?
It's kind of scary.
It is. I mean, this is just like the tip of, this is a bigger tip of the iceberg for information security, because phishing is just like a huge, huge thing now again. It goes in waves. It's been ransomware, it's been phishing, it's been virus. It's also called what they call malvertising. One of the things I didn't put up here, but the malvertising part of social engineering is you go to a website, you look up weather.com. You go into Google, you see that it says weather.com, and it says a little ad symbol next to it. A lot of people will click the one that says ad. Well, we had this happen yesterday afternoon. One of the ladies at an energy company wanted to look at the weather. She typed in weather.com, and she clicked on the ad button. I was like, oh no. She clicked on it, the machine was infected. Within a matter of seconds. So when you do searches, you want to be careful of that, because I can pay a good $20,000 a year to have that same ad redirected to a site and hijack somebody's machine and make some money. There's no laws against that. So you just want to be careful when you're clicking on links and sites, any sort of advertisements. Be very wary. CNN, Fox News, a lot of the big news sites, those advertisements on the side, if you accidentally click one of those, 90% of the time it's going to take you to a bad site and they're going to start doing stuff. You hope the antivirus is going to pick up on that, because the code is very sloppy, but just be wary of that. Never trust anybody.
So if we do receive a phishing email and we know it's a phishing email, obviously we delete it. Should we tell Pete immediately, or is it just
If it
happens?
if it continues to be an issue where the same person keeps sending it over and over again, then yes, you definitely should make him aware that, okay, this person keeps coming after us. We can reach out to Web Solutions, or we can set up in the Outlook to reject the email. Just drop it in the junk file all the time. They'll keep hammering away. Once you get one message, they know you're alive out there, they're going to keep trying to hammer away to kind of get to you. And you don't want to fall pressure to that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Well, thank you.